What's going on, guys? I'm Anthony Bruno, and the Deshaun Watson trade rumors continue to fly. Could the Houston Texans trade Deshaun Watson to the Cleveland Browns for Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham Jr., and draft picks after the Browns just won their first playoff game in 26 years? We're going to discuss that and more, so stay tuned and let's go. Before we start, I just want to let you guys know about our awesome giveaway at the end of the month, where we will be giving away $500 cash to 3 lucky subscribers. Yes, $500 cash to 3 of you. This is our way of giving back to you, the fans of TPS, who make all of this possible. To enter the contest, all you need to do is subscribe and have your notifications on, and you've got to be commenting on our videos regularly throughout the month. So make sure you hit that notification bell so you can watch our videos as soon as they come out, and make sure you smash that like button as well. If you're already subscribed to the channel and have notifications on, then all you need to do is like and comment, and you'll be automatically entered into the random draw. So good luck to everybody. Alright, so starting things off with this story that was blowing up on our website, TotalProSports.com, if you want to check it out, is this idea of a trade between the Houston Texans and Cleveland Browns. Bill Barnwell from ESPN recently wrote an article talking about potential trade proposals for Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson, including a deal with the Browns for Baker Mayfield, Odell Beckham Jr., and 2 first-round draft picks. So in the article, Barnwell writes, "It's tough for me to imagine the Browns hitting the reset button on their core after their first playoff win in 26 years, but Watson might be worth it. The Texans would get 2 first-rounders and both their quarterback of the future and a possible replacement for DeAndre Hopkins in Beckham, who is coming off a torn ACL." First of all, before we get any further, what the hell were the Houston Texans even thinking trading away DeAndre Hopkins for David Johnson and a second-round pick? The dude is one of the top 5 receivers in the NFL, has been incredible no matter who his quarterback has been, so that was a complete embarrassment. I just had to get that off my chest. Then there was an article written on Fansided titled, "It's time for the Cleveland Browns to think about Deshaun Watson." And then here comes Baker Mayfield, who went on Twitter and quote tweeted that article saying, "Some of y'all Browns are funny." Isn't it great when we get fired up, pissed off Baker Mayfield? Say what you want about him as an actual NFL quarterback, but in terms of the drama that he causes off of the field with some of the things like this, it just makes everything so much more interesting. Okay, let's talk about this trade rumor for a second. First of all, we all know the Cleveland Browns have been terrible for a long time, but this season was great, okay? They had their first double-digit win season since 2007, their first playoff appearance since 2002, and their first playoff win in 26 years. They had one of the best running games in the NFL, finishing 3rd in the league with 148 rushing yards per game. Baker Mayfield had a solid season. But who are we kidding here? We all know that Deshaun Watson is more talented than Baker Mayfield. And can you imagine how much better this Browns team would be if you just simply swapped out Baker Mayfield and put in Deshaun Watson? There is a lot to think about right there if you're a Browns fan. And even though you'd have to give up draft picks in a potential trade like this, I think it probably makes a lot of sense, because personally, I think Deshaun Watson is one of the top 5 to 7 quarterbacks in the NFL, and you need one of these dudes more often than not, unless you have a really elite defense to win a Super Bowl. Another good thing for the Cleveland Browns in all this, if a trade like this actually were to happen, is getting out of that contract that they're paying Odell Beckham Jr., who still has 3 years left on a $90 million deal. He only has 2 100-yard games in 2 seasons with the Cleveland Browns. And listen, I think OBJ is still a really good receiver, but just in terms of how that offense operates, especially this past season, where they were one of the best running teams in the NFL, it was a 2-headed attack with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And really, Odell Beckham didn't have to do anything great. That passing game didn't have to be special. They had a good offensive line and ran the ball really well. The Browns were solid with Odell Beckham, and they were solid without Odell Beckham. He really wasn't a key cog in the grand scheme of things when it came to that offense. And Baker Mayfield was actually able to spread the ball out a little bit more after OBJ went down with that injury. So getting out of that OBJ contract wouldn't be a bad thing whatsoever. Now, would this deal be good for the Houston Texans? Well, first of all, the Houston Texans should not trade Deshaun Watson, okay? Let me clarify that. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and they shouldn't trade him. And they've come out and said they have no interest in trading him. But obviously, Deshaun Watson wants to get the hell out of Houston, and he has requested a trade, and all these rumors are swirling around, and we don't know what's going to happen because the stare down is happening between Deshaun Watson and the Houston Texans organization. So we'll see how that plays out. And if the Texans do make a trade like this is the type of package you'd want in return for Deshaun Watson. You would want a quarterback that you could plug in immediately, a solid young passer like Baker Mayfield, and he's nothing special, but he's better than several other starting quarterbacks right now in the NFL. And then, of course, you would want the draft capital. The 2 first-round picks is fantastic. Any other picks on top of that is also really good news. And then adding in a skill position player like Odell Beckham Jr., that's not bad as well. But guys, I want to hear from you. Let me know if you think this is actually a decent trade. And I know it's a rumor, but do you think it makes sense for the Houston Texans and Cleveland Browns? Or should this thing just be shot up into the friggin' sun? Okay, I want to know in the comments, so let me know what you think about this trade rumor. All right, moving on now, some more juicy news regarding the Deshaun Watson situation as Broncos safety Kareem Jackson, who's a former teammate of Watson's with the Houston Texans, said this to TMZ Sports.
I had a couple of conversations with him, just with him, saying that, Denver is a place that he's interested in landing.
So according to Kareem Jackson, Deshaun Watson actually said Denver is a place he's interested in playing, and it makes sense when you look at the skill position players on Denver with Jerry Jeudy, Tim Patrick, and Noah Fant. But in the same conversation, here's what Kareem Jackson said about the Broncos' current starting quarterback, Drew Lock.
Drew Lock has just finished year 2, and we think highly of Drew. He's becoming a leader right before our eyes. He has all the tools.
Hold on a second, Kareem Jackson. Drew Lock has all the tools? Because I sure as hell didn't see that watching him this season lead the NFL with 15 interceptions in 13 games and fumbling the ball 8 times. And listen, I know Drew Lock is only 24 years old and we haven't really seen a lot of him so far, and I'm sure that he can still improve. But listen, this is not the dude you want to move into the future with as your starting quarterback if you're the Denver Broncos. And it goes without saying, of course the Denver Broncos would love if they could upgrade from Drew Lock to Deshaun Watson. That does it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please let us know in the comments where you think the ideal landing spot would be for Deshaun Watson, where if you dropped him in, that team would immediately become a Super Bowl contender. Let us know what you think. And as always, if you haven't done so already, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, ring the notification bell as well so you know exactly when we're dropping some new content. So that does it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.